Good afternoon, students. See, students, before I begin, I just want to say that go through part 1 and part 2, then only you will be able to understand this. I have already told you there are two themes in this particular chapter. One is that the world is compared to a rat trap, which we have already done. Prepare 6-mark answer that why the world is compared to a rat trap. Second theme, which I have already told you, that with essential goodness in our behavior, we can transform other people. We can change other persons with goodness in our behavior. This is the second thing which we will do later on. And story is also basically in 3 parts. One part where the rat trap seller is selling selling rat traps, and why he is comparing this world to a rat trap. Second part deals with the presence of this peddler, this vagabond, this rat trap seller in an iron mill. Okay, and third part deals with when he went to the house of the iron mill owner, why he went there and how he was treated there. This we have to study. See, students, till now we had completed up to the portion that this rat trap seller himself had fallen into the trap. Why? Because he was attracted towards those 30 kroners. He stole those 30 kroners, which acted as a bait, BAIT, which acted as a bait. He stole that money, and in order to escape the police, to avoid the police, he should not be caught. That is why did he, what did he do? Again, you may get 2-mark question. He did not take the highway, the normal road, and he entered into woods, forest. The forest obviously was very thick. Initially he did not have problem, but later on, as he entered deep into the forest, far into the forest, he could not find the way out. Way out means he did not find the path. As I have already told you that there is no beaten path deep inside forests that you should follow and come out of it. So he did not find any beaten path, any sort of small road which would lead him to out of the forest. So he was trapped in the forest also. Now it was him to decide what to do, because just because he has stolen 30 kroners, he himself was in problem. Now let us continue. So it was late in December. Darkness was already descending over the forest. Otherwise, also darkness descend over the forest earlier than the other areas, because it is very difficult for the sun rays to penetrate into the forest. So darkness descended, fell over the forest. This increased the danger and increased also his gloom and despair. Underline this word, gloom and despair means sadness. Finally, he saw no way out. Way out of what? No way out to come out of the forest. Listen to it carefully. You may get 1-mark question in reference to the context. He saw no way out as he sat down on the ground, tired to death. He was so very tired because he has walked and walked and walked after stealing those 30 kroners. So he was tired to death, thinking that his last moment had come. Last moment of what? Last moment of life. But again, a twist in the story. Just as he laid his head on the ground, he heard a sound, a hard, regular thumping sound. There was no doubt as to what that was. That here refers to what? That here refers to the thumping sound. He raised himself, he got up. Those are the hammer strokes, hammer sounds from an iron mill. He thought there must be people nearby. Means if he is able to hear that hammer stroke inside, deep inside the forest, that means somewhere near there are people, those who are thumping the hammer. So he summoned all his strength, got up, and staggered in the direction of the sound. Summoned means he gathered, he collected all his strength. Why is this line written that he summoned all his strength? Simply because he was tired to death. So the author says that he summoned, he gathered, he collected all his strength, whatever he was left with, and staggered. Again, students, staggered is a way of walking. Plodding we have already done. Trenching. So now this is staggered. A third word which means a way of walking. So he summoned all his strength, got up, and staggered in the direction of the sound. Next paragraph, the Ramso Ironworks, which are now closed down. Now closed down, but at that time it was very much functional, very much operative. So the Ramso Ironwork, which were now closed down, were not so long ago. It was a large plant with smelter, rolling mill, and forge, and in the summertime, long lines of heavily loaded barges and scows slid down the canal, which led to a large inland lake. And in the winter time, the roads near the mill were black from all the coal dust which sifted down from the baked charcoal crate. See, this is how here the iron mill has been described. Two mark question. So be attentive. Iron mill has been described, and how that road or the path which was leading to that iron mill, it is also described. So iron mill had, it was a large plant with smelter. Smelter again is a place which is used for melting metals. Rolling mill and forge. Forge, I think all of you know. Forge is Hindi mein what we call it bhatti, right? Now, so this smelter, rolling mill means place where that metal is melt, 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 and forge. And in the summertime, long lines of heavily loaded barges. Barges is a type of boat, BOAT boat, and scows. Scows is also a type of boat, so don't get confused. Means these type of boats were used. Why these type of boats were used? To carry the raw material to the iron mill. There was a lake, so these types of barges and scows, they were loaded, and by that canal which led to a large inland lake, they carried that raw material to the iron mill. And that the path, it was totally covered with black color. What was this black color? Because of that dust of charcoal which had been sifted from a sieve. Sieve, you know, sometimes at homes also we use sieve for the floors and all. छलनी जिसको कहते हैं. So that whole, that path leading to iron mill was black in color. Two more question again. Why it was black in color? Because charcoal was from the barges and scows. Charcoal was carried to the iron mill, and that dust of the charcoal, it was there. It has covered that path, and that is why it was basically black in color. I hope this is clear to you now. During one of the long dark evenings, Just before Christmas, the master smith and his helper sat in the dark forge near the furnace waiting for the pig iron which had been put in the fire to be ready to put on the anvil. Every now and then, one of them got up to stir the glowing mass with a long iron bar, returning in a few moments, dripping with perspiration. Though, as was the custom, he wore nothing but a long shirt and a pair of wooden shoes. Again, students, this paragraph describes what work was being carried out in the iron mill. You may get a 6 mark question how regarding the how to describe the iron mill, what type of work was being carried out in the iron mill. So these two paragraphs you have to prepare like that. Now, so this was a long dark evening. Obviously, winter evenings are nights are longer. So during one of the long dark evenings just before Christmas, the master smith was there and his helper. They sat in the dark forge, near the furnace, waiting for the pig iron, which has been put in the fire to melt and to be ready to put on the anvil. Anvil again is a iron platform where with hammer some molding of the iron could be done. Okay, so you understand that anvil. I think science students they will be better able to understand. Anvil is a sort of a platform made up of iron. Pig iron was already in the furnace. They were waiting for the pig iron to be put out of the fire to be ready to put on the anvil. And every now and then means frequently, one of them, one of the persons, those who were present there in the iron mill, got up to stir. Okay, to stir, to move the glowing mass with a long iron bar. Obviously, it was a furnace, so long iron bar was used to stir the iron inside. Returning in a few moments, obviously, when the person went near the furnace, he was dripping with perspiration, with sweat. Though, as was the custom, he wore nothing, a long jacket, sort of shirt, and wooden shoes. All the time, there were many sounds to be heard in the forge. This is also this paragraph also describes the iron iron mill. Okay, so all the time there were many sounds to be heard in the forge. The big bellows groaned and the burning coal cracked. So these were the type of sounds that when the coal was put into that furnace, what type of sound was produced. The boy shoveled charcoal into the maw of the furnace with a great deal of clatter. Outside roared the waterfall, and a sharp north wind whipped the rain against the brick tile roof. So, different types of sound has been described in this paragraph. Now, underline the words which denote sounds. One is your groan, cracked, clatter, and one is whipped. How many words are there? Groaned, one, cracked, two, clatter, three, and whipped. Four words which denote different types of sounds. So the big billow groaned and the burning coal cracked. Cracked also is a sort of sound. So see students, here below is the big below groaned. Below basically is a place where we put inside something so that the fire keeps on burning. So the big below groaned. It was a groaning sound. Uh, See, groaning otherwise is associated with human beings. Here it is groaning, which is associated with the furnace. So the big willow groaned and the burning coal produced cracking sound. The fire boy shoveled. Again, you must have seen a shovel. Shovel is just like a spade, which is used to just take charcoal and then put it into the furnace. So that is shovel. So the fire boy big shovel charcoal into the maw. A new word to you, MAW. Maw is mouth. Mouth of that furnace, right? So the fireboy shoveled charcoal into the maw of the furnace with a great deal of clattering sound it produced. Again, outside roaring again is sound. The waterfall, there was a sound of waterfall. Somewhere near there was a waterfall and a sharp north wind whipped the rain. Again, whipping is the whipped here is type of sound. The rain against the big roof means when tile roof rain was falling, it was producing sound. Very natural things. It was probably on account of all this noise. You may also get two mark question what different types of noise was produced on account of which the blacksmith and the people who were working in the iron mill did not notice the peddler. This paragraph deals with that clearly. Just go through it very carefully. It was probably on account of all this noise, on account of because of this reason that the blacksmith did not notice that a man has opened the gate. Who is this man? This man is the peddler, the rat trap seller, the vagabond. Okay. In reference to context, again you may get this question that did not notice that a man. Now, who is this man? So you should know this man here refers to the rat trap seller. Blacksmith did not notice that a man had opened the gate and entered the forge until he stood close up to the furnace. So when was he noticed? When he went and stood very near the furnace. Surely it was nothing unusual for a vagabond without any better shelter for the night to be attracted to the forge by the glow of light which escaped through the sooty panes and to come in to warm themselves in front of the fire. The blacksmith glanced only casually and indifferently at the intruder. He looked the way people of this type usually did, with a long beard, dirty, ragged, and with a bunch of rat traps dangling on his chest. See, what was common for the people like the rat trap seller or the vagabond? Prepare it for two mark question that it was nothing unusual for poor vagabonds. Vagabonds, I have told you, one person who wanders from one place to another. They are called vagabonds. So it was nothing unusual for poor vagabonds without any better shelter. I mean, they don't have their proper home or better shelter for the night to be attracted, and that is why they are attracted to the forge by the glow of light. Because see, these countries otherwise are also winter countries. So these type of vagabonds or people without proper shelter, without proper home, they are attracted to the forge by the glow of light which escape through the sooty panes. Means through the sooty basically means black. Panes means window panes. The glow of light is visible up to some distance, so people they come to know that there is some warmth, and that is why these type of vagabonds they visit such type of place, especially during evenings and nights, in winter nights especially. And it was December time in the story also, just to warm themselves or maybe to sleep uh, there, to spend one night there in the warmth, right? So it was not unusual for poor vagabonds without any better shelter for the night to be attracted to the forge by the glow of light which escaped through the sooty panes and to come in to warm themselves. Why they used to visit? To warm themselves in front of, wait, yes, to warm themselves in front of the fire. The blacksmiths glanced The blacksmith who was already there, he just glanced, gave a look. To glance something, to look something. So he just glanced only casually and indifferently to the at the intruder. Why indifferently? See, you may get question in reference to context, or maybe 2 marks question. That blacksmith, he glanced and in a very casual manner and indifferently. And who is the intruder here? Intruder means who has intruded into the iron mill. Intruder here is the rat trap seller. He has intruded means without permission he has entered into the forge, into the iron mill. And the blacksmith was very indifferent. Why? Because this was maybe not the first time that somebody, some vagabond, has entered into the forge to spend night, to warm himself. And that is why the blacksmith was very much casual, very much indifferent. Indifferent means he was not concerned, he was not bothered about who has entered into the iron mill. Why was he not bothered? Because they were used to such people who do not have proper shelter, proper home, uh, to enter into these type of forge, to warm themselves, to spend night there, to sleep in the warmth. And that is why the blacksmith was very casual when he looked at him, very indifferent. He looked, and why this vagabond, this rat trap seller is called intruder? Because he has entered into the iron mill without permission. So he was an intruder. He looked the way people of his type usually did. Now, who is he here? I leave this question to you. He looked the way people of his type usually did, with a long beard, dirty, no, not at all clean, ragged. Rag means he was wearing clothes which were torn from places, and with a bunch of rat traps dangling, hanging on his chest. He asked permission to. Now he is asking permission to stay, and the master blacksmith nodded, gave permission, nodding in this way. Very haughty consent. Consent, that he agreed, he gave the permission. That too, it was not very polite, it was haughty. HAUGHTY. Now, haughty is basically means not in a polite manner, in a very proud manner, without honoring him with a single word. Means simply by nodding, he accorded the permission, he gave the permission, he did not utter a single word. Who? The master blacksmith. So, who gave the permission to the rat trap seller to stay there for the night? It was the master blacksmith. How did he accorded the permission? Without saying a single word, just by nodding. Okay, I think you will be able to do the 2 mark question here. Now the tramp did not say anything either. Now, why the either word is used? Because the ironmaster did not utter a single word. So the tramp also did not say anything. He had not come there to talk, but only to warm himself and sleep. Okay, students. So up till now, we will continue tomorrow. Till now, just go through this all these paragraphs properly. Listen to where I have told you that this may appear as a 2 mark question, or you may get questions in reference to context. Okay, students. Thank you and have a nice day.